Folks, this is going to be a very quick installment. I wanted to draw your attention to a handful of problems that students frequently encounter when they're trying to work with recoding and the labeling of their data. Specifically, I wanted to point out that when you do a label, so you're creating a new variable and you're naming it, it needs to be one word and it can't have spaces in it. And you will find, just in terms of being able to look at it in tables and other things, it helps to keep it reasonably short. I'm not sure what the limit is, but there is a character limit on it. And so one of the things that you want to do is you want to keep that short. A second thing that you want to do is, if you're taking a variable and you're using it in multiple places, here you're recoding, you're labeling it, you're going to label its values, cut and paste it. By doing that, you stop yourself from making small little typing mistakes or accidentally putting a space in at the end or other things that could create issues for you. Next thing, and again, very, very common error, lots of times we think in a title that we would like to have an apostrophe, you know, it's or something like that. And the problem with that is if you put an apostrophe in here, it messes up with the apostrophes here. So your variable labels and your value labels cannot have an apostrophe in them. And finally, little glitches which can drive people crazy. Unfortunately, not all the commands use periods in the same places. So if you're going to recode a variable, after you've recoded a variable, you got to have a period. And don't worry if you don't remember this, because SPSS is going to do that work for you if you go up in the transform. However, there unfortunately is no SPSS way of using their system to create the coding in the syntax file for variable labels, and the problem that can create is there's no period here, so it's a bit different. Other than that, you get the same period at the very end before going on to the execute period, and it's the same thing here. One thing that you should note, if you make a mistake in coding, most of the time it's going to be noted down in this area down here if you're using the full screen. The other thing that happens, if for whatever reason we leave off a punctuation where there's some problem, SPSS is going to change the color here to let us know that we're missing something. And so if I add, for example, well, let's see if it'll do it. It may or may not notice it. If I had a notation down here at the bottom, if I had the window set up, which I apparently don't, it would let me know there's something wrong. But if I try to run this, it is going to let me know in the outlet that there's something wrong. Oh, of course it's not, because it's lost my my extra apostrophe. There we go. I put that extra apostrophe in. Notice how the value labels changes colors. It's indicating that there's something wrong with it. In this case, it's that extra apostrophe in there. Anyway, just a few tips on very common problems which can lead to great frustration as you look at the darn thing over and over again. And did I forget something? I did. This right here, all of these, they have to be single apostrophes. They cannot be quotation marks, or again, the darn thing won't run. So notice I do this, and all of a sudden it's going to color it differently to let me know that there's a problem. There, pay attention to colors. If everything's looking good, it's probably going to run okay. And anyway, I hope that saves you not hours, but certainly minutes of grief down the road.